Hello everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Inspiration Collaboration Design Team Challenge. This month, the team has challenged each other to feature investment products in their layouts. And what this means is we are featuring products that you will reach for again and again, and they are a great return on investment. And all of these products will be featured in the catalog that's upcoming, and the release date is May 5th. So these are some of the ones that I'm going to use. I've grabbed Party Alphabet for my title. It's these nice big giant alphabet dies. And then Spotlight on Nature. This is a favorite and it's returning, so I'm happy about that. And then Nested Essentials. It has some great banners. And then I also grabbed this one, Stylish Shapes, but I wind up not using that one, but I do reach for it often. So these are great products, and you won't be sad that you purchase them. You'll definitely reach for them all the time. So I'm going to feature a new collection. This is Waterside Retreat, and I'm just going to use one of the papers, but I just want to show it to you here. It's got some great cut apart pieces that you can use on card fronts, and then the flip side is this sort of striped awning, sort of weathered distressed striped paper, and this one is waves. It's a little hard to see on camera here, but there are lots of waves on that. And then the flip side are fish, and then we have bicycles and seagulls. Lots of great colors, more seagulls, and a great plaid. That's great for like Father's Day and masculine cards. And then we've got buoys and life preservers and a simple gray toned wood grain on the flip side. And then we have more life jackets and paddles. Lots of great icons for any lakeside activity outdoors. And then the flip side is like an awning, a striped sort of outdoor awning, lakeside awning. So, okay, I'm going to use the waves for this layout. And let me grab my pictures. I'm continuing my Alaska cruise. I'm going to finish this. I really want to be using other colors. I love the blues, but it's time to finish this album. So I'm working hard to get it done. So on this day, we cruised the Sawyer Glacier, and then we did an excursion the other half of the day. So these are my pictures from cruising the glacier, and it really wasn't that cold out. My husband and I, we were on our balcony, and I came out with my fluffy pink hoodie and I put it up, and then he decided to scrunch his hood down, and it's a cute picture. It really wasn't that cold, but we hung out on the balcony, and there was someone talking over the loudspeaker about what we were looking at. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty relaxing, and we cruised slowly and looked at the glacier. And then the other half of the day, we did an excursion. So my next layout will be of that. So what I'm thinking is I want a border at the bottom so that I can put my letters on top of that border. So I'm going to create sort of a background for my letters. And I've got lots of scraps here in all of the various colors that are in the collection, Misty Moonlight and Crumb Cake and White. And I cut out off camera, I cut out all the lake scene from Wonder and Light and Wonder dies. So it's got mountains in the background and then sort of a lake in the foreground. And unfortunately, this set is sold out. It's part of the Aurora collection that was available like around a couple months ago, actually several months ago. So if you have any mountain dies, that would work too to do this technique. Okay, so I'm going to start with white, and I just want to differentiate the white from the snow-capped peaks. So this color is balmy blue, and I'm just going to do a light wash towards the top. Just a little bit of it will be seen, but I do want to differentiate it from the snow-capped peaks. So I'm just making just a little wash in the background. I want to leave some areas of white, just so that the light can peek through and just give a nice soft sky look. And then I'm going to bring in some, I did not write down, oh, I did, gray granite, and I'm going to ink the top edges of all of these die cut pieces. So when I die cut them, I ran them through, and the die is about 6 inches long. So I did, these are 12-inch strips. So I did 6, ran it through, and then moved the die over and connected, and then ran it through again. So I have 12-inch strips here. So, and then I decided I wanted my water to be in a different position, so I'll cut off the excess, but I ran it through again so I get some more water below the peak there. So we'll go ahead and glue the snow-capped peak layer down. And then the other ones are more intricate cuts, and so I'll be using both tape runner and some wet glue to get those pieces down. And in retrospect, I should have glued a lot more, but so if you do this technique, make sure you get all of those little bits and pieces glued, because once you start chopping them up, they fall apart. So you want to make sure you can hang on to all those bits. Okay, and then I added the lake piece at the bottom. Okay, so part of this piece is going to be on the left page and part is going to be on the right, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'm spelling out the word cruising. So the cruise part will go on the left page, and then the ing will go on the right, and they'll butt up against each other, so it's continuous. So I'm laying my letters out here so that I can cut them out. And I want to make sure that I have a little bit of everything on my letters once they're cut out. Okay, so I thought I was going to use this piece and then I was going to fussy cut the waves. Like I said, it's really hard to see on camera, but you can see the lines to cut along to make peaked waves. And then I'll have my letters on top. But I didn't like the way the letters were showing up on that paper, so I tried another one, and then finally I landed on this one. They popped nicely. Okay, so I'm going to create a border that's about 1 inch tall. So I'm going to fussy cut those waves and then have them peeking out over the top of this darker blue piece. So my letters pop nicely, and I'm noticing that the blue portion, somewhere it got lost, so I needed to replace that. I fixed it off camera. Okay, so we've got our title letters going, and then I'll get started fussy cutting this, but it wound up being off camera, and I need to pay attention where the camera is on some things that I do. I pull it close to me, and then I realize afterwards that y'all can't see what I'm doing. So anyway, I'm just fussy cutting, and that's the result there. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink along the edges so that they pop a little bit more. And I'm using Misty Moonlight just to ink along and differentiate the edges there, make them a little bit darker so you can see the different wave shapes. Okay, so we'll do both sides, and then we'll just slide them in at the top there. Okay. And now I need to finish my title. So I have a piece of pattern paper that's from Nature Walk. And then I'm going to use this large die here that's from Nested Essentials to cut out a piece of this pattern paper. And then I'll be stamping my title on it. So I've got this stamp set. It's called Simple Alphabet. And it's new-ish, and it's also in the new catalog. And it just has a nice size of letters. They're not quite 1 inch tall. I want to say 3/4 of an inch. And it's a nice size to fit a small title or subtitle. So I like to put each of my stamps, when I'm doing letters, I don't like to put them all together on a block. Sorry, my head's getting in the picture. Because it messes with how close you can get each letter to each other. So I do it the long way. I put them on 1-inch blocks and stamp them out just so that they can look, I don't know, more natural. When you put it on a block, there's more of there's a bigger space between each letter. So that's the way I do it. All right, so I have Sawyer Glacier. So my title is Cruising Sawyer Glacier. So I'm going to go with that pink that's in my hoodie. And I found this paper. It's from the Mixed Up DSP collection. And it's white background with teeny tiny pink dots all over. So, and they're kind of in lines, but not straight lines all over. So just a little tiny bit of pink, but instead of using mattes for my pictures, I thought this would work nicely, and all of the pictures with the blues pop on that white background pattern paper. So just gonna set up kind of a grid-ish look here. And then off camera, I'm gonna fuss with these. Off camera, I changed the orientation and size of a couple of my pictures. I reprinted them. So this set is called Capturing Smiles, and it has lots of great stamps and then dies to create cameras with. So I'm going to do some heat embossing with embossing powder, and I'm going to do some with white embossing and some with clear. So I have a piece of Secret Sea. Instead of using black, I'm going to go with monochromatic with my layout with blues. So I've got my camera image, and when I emboss with white, I like to use white pigment ink. It just it finishes it nicely, and with the white embossing powder on it, locks in that pigment ink, and then you get a nice crisp white image. So I'm going to stamp some of these out. Got the camera and then different smaller camera and a part of the camera, and then I'll sprinkle on some white embossing powder, and these all have coordinating dies. So we'll go ahead. I've hit it with some anti-static powder to start before I stamped, and then we'll sprinkle some of this powder, and then we'll set it aside while I stamp out in Versamark ink and use some of the clear powder also on Secret Sea. Okay, so I sped this up super fast, but we'll go ahead and hit this with my heat tool and melt that embossing powder, and then that one will be good to go. And then I'll bring in the other two. It's like magic. All right, so that's one, and then we'll bring in another one, and that's pretty cool. Sorry, my hand's in the way, but you'll see the result in just a second, how it goes from powder to clear. And in real life, the clear looks really cool with the aperture and the different parts of the camera. Okay, so off camera, I'll cut everything out with these dies. Now I have lots of things to work with. So the film strip portion, the gray, it's a paper that's called Lunar Luster. It's really cool. It's a silver matte, so it's not a foil, but it's got this sheen to it that just looks really cool. So I thought that would look kind of neat on parts of a camera. And next time I do this, I want to use silver embossing powder instead of white. I think that looked cool too. Okay, bringing in these investment pieces. First of all, the camera set is also in the new catalog, and it's an investment piece. So I've cut some Spotlight on Nature circles, and then I've cut a whole bunch of banners from Nested Essentials. So I've got a lot to work with. So I have a banner here, and these papers are from, it's a combination of Nature Walk and Peaceful Garden. So I've got a little of everything with all those colors. And I wind up swapping out that lighter blue with a die cut piece from Nested Essentials. The banners just didn't match up right. That's a sticker from the sticker sheet. So I'm going to tuck that circle under that corner there. Circles are great as a base for all the different pieces, parts that you want to create a cluster with. So it's a great jumping off point. Either you can use, I prefer circles, but if you have a tag, tags are also great for just a base to start creating your clusters. So I'm going to slide one of those film strips under the corner there, and I'm building my camera here again with all the different parts. And then I'm going to pop some of those pieces. And it's a little hard to see on camera here, but in real life, it looks so cool when you have things, the different parts of the camera lens popped up to create a 3D image. And then we'll create another cluster over here. And I didn't like having the circles matchy-matchy, so I will change that in a few minutes. Off camera, I'll swap some things around. So now I want to bring in this stamp set again, Capturing Smiles, and I'm going to do some stamping on my circles. So one stamp is capturing, and then the other one is memories, or captured moments. And then the small one over on the left side just says photo op. I thought that was appropriate for underneath the camera there. So off camera, I will stamp these circles with Misty Moonlight ink. So I have my circle there. And then I've also pulled a tab from the Nature Walk sticker collection just to journal the date on it. And like I said before, this will be a 4-page layout for that day. So I'll have pictures from our excursion on another layout, and that will be my next video. So stay tuned for that. So I think I want my banners to be at the top, and then I'm going to move that circle down. I was kind of having trouble with where to put the banners. I didn't want it to be matchy-matchy, but I like the way that one looks with the tab with the date on it. And then I moved the other circle down. So we're good there. Okay, these are super cool. They are loose anchor trinkets, and they're silver, and they've just got a great weight to them. The quality is really nice, and they are little silver anchors, and they kind of have like a braided rope sort of look around the circle. And yeah, I'm going to use these on the layout, and the best way to attach them is with glue dots. And then I have some linen thread to make a bow so that it's kind of a faux attachment somewhere on my layout, so they're just not kind of floating there. I'll add that bow on top so they look like they're attached. So we'll go ahead and add all of those. I've got 3 of them. And then I will pull everything closer to the camera so you can have a better look. So I will have close-up shots of everything over on my socials. I'll have the URL at the bottom of the screen in a second and links in the description below. I'll put a playlist at the end of this video so that you can see all of the Inspiration Collaboration Design Team videos. And a purchase from my online store would really help me out. It helps me to continue creating tutorials, and then I can also include Happy Mail and little gifts with your purchase. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'd sure appreciate it. And then you can find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.